Hi crafters, and welcome to Finish It Friday episode 170. So this is where we left off on Wednesday. Oh, let me get my camera a chance to catch up. It's still kind of dreary, about 7:30 here in the Chicagoland area, so I don't want to use my overhead light, so I'm using my side light. So I'm hoping that's enough. Let me see if I have to put on my light, if that helps a little too, or if it just makes more of a shadow. All right, that might work. Might give me a little bit of a shadow though too. All right, so here we are. This is where we left off on Wednesday. We have our base card that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have our piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. We have our piece of cardstock that is 4 by 1. Then we have our 2 by 3 piece of cardstock. And then I said to have any medium punch or ephemera. Now this is from last Saturday's video, my no line coloring video. I will, if I remember and have time before work, I will remember to attach that in the description so you can see. We did the big flower from Layers of Beauty, and I cut it up. I'm going to use it like ephemera. All right, so that's where we're at right now. So to mimic these colors, which are blues and purples, a little bit of a green in there too. I can't remember which color that was. I have my blends here, and I am going to go ahead and remove all of these out of the way because I don't want to get any speckles on them. And I'm going to create a background on this. So let me get out my bone folder. Let's just go ahead and start getting a little bit of a speckled background. This is what I like doing when I don't want a strong background, but I don't want it to be stark white or stark, in this case, ivory, vanilla in the background. So I'll sometimes do this. I'm doing this in the coordinating colors of what we colored that ephemera in at. Really, it's a die cut, but since we cut it into little pieces, that makes it ephemera. And I think just a little more blue and we'll be done. I don't think I'll do the last colors. All right. So that's enough for the blends. Go ahead and hold this up so you can see. Here's my little background that I did. Okay. I'm also going to, let me go ahead and grab, where did I put my, oh, they're up here now. Remember, I rearranged. I have no idea where everything is. So I have this exposed brick that I'm going to do on these two pieces here. Let me make it a little more straight. And give me a second. I'm gonna have to run over there and run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss folder machine. So hopefully you guys have had a great week. It's been wild here in the Chicagoland area. We went from having snow on the ground to having warmer temperatures. And so the warmer temperatures melted all of the snow. Plus we also had some light rain throughout the beginning of the week. But now last night we had really torrential rains, and we were under a flash flood warning. My husband said there was a little water coming into our basement from the ejector site. I guess we have a sump pump and an ejector. There's a little water coming up from the ejector drain. Just means that apparently our city sewer system couldn't keep up with all the rain we had last night. All right, I usually don't use my seal after I've run something through an embossing folder because it breaks down those fibers. Breaks down the fibers of the papers. But I am going to go ahead and do this. When we left on Wednesday, I think I had this further over, but I am going to go like this. And instead of having it one on top of another, I'm going to kind of offset it a little bit. Okay, just so we're using up some of the width of the card. So let's go ahead, get that down there. I'm going to do it too much, so I want to be able to see both of those. Then on this piece, I think maybe I want to get a little bit of a background on that too. It seems really, and I do like mixing white and ivory together. That's just me. Just like, I also like mixing, you know, in jewelry, excuse me, silver and gold. Hang on one second. Sorry, I hope I walked far enough away from the mic that that didn't bother you too much. So let's go ahead and look. So just have a little bit of a background on that now. I'm going to take Greenery Lane. I'm not going to use any of the little die cuts I have from that set. I am going to use the Love and Hugs. All right, that looks pretty good. Go ahead and pick that up. Go ahead and use my memento that I put into one of the white re-inker pads. I think, yeah, I'll do it completely centered. I won't go flush left or flush right. All right, and then we are going to need, we're going to use some embellishments, but let's see how we put the flowers on there first before we decide. I don't know if I want that going straight up the side. I don't know if that looks quite natural. Maybe we'll go like that. We'll put that under. We'll put this over. How about that? We'll kind of line up those leaves a little. I think that looks good. So let me see. Sorry, I left my roll on my camera, so I didn't want to rearrange that in any way. So I'm just going to put these repositionables on here so I have a place to put, or a base to put my dimensionals on. All right. Remember, my dimensionals, I put packing tape over this to help control those covers, those brad covers. So that's all I've done. So I'm going to put one here, kind of help solidify that. Let's put a couple here. I'm thinking one will fit here without showing through. Nope, it's going to show through. I'm going to get then a mini for that. Oh, am I off camera? Sorry. We get a couple there. Let's go ahead and get some here, one in the middle. And see, I like this because now I don't have to peel any of those backings off because the backings are stuck to this. Now on the minis, it doesn't work as well. Let me see. And I don't know, and also the ones that you get from Paper Pumpkin don't end up working as well. So here's the minis. You can see some of them get caught, some don't. There's just something different about the backings on them. So on this one, I'm gonna put that right where those two meet. That will solidify them a little bit. I'm gonna put one here on the end. And I think I'll put one there. And then I think we're pretty much done. All right. Let's come back over here. Let's get this line back up the way we wanted to so that nothing's falling off the edge. Press that all down and then take off my reusable tape. And there you are. There's our card for today. Oops, a little bit of a shadow there. Here, let me stand in front of that light here. In fact, let me turn this light off now. All right, that way we don't get as many shadows. So there's that. You could add bling if you wanted to here. I'm gonna leave it alone for right now because I tend to over bling things. But there you have that. Let me show you the examples I did. Here's one that I did vertical. I let Designer Series paper. Let me go this way. Let me see if I move that light up a little bit more, if that helps. All right. You see the Designer Series paper is doing most of the job there. Added some of those druzy embellishments. Last one, I cut the strips in half and kind of did a, is that called cantilever? Where it's kind of up and around. Added that ephemera, highlighted the outside of that greeting so that it stood up from the background. And there we have that. All right, guys. So there you have it. Episode 170 is in the books. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Send me a comment. Most of all, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.